Miss Ferguson, this is your father.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
And you claim that your father has some valuable pieces of antique and paintings that belong to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
And he said that he made a loan to you. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
One of many that he's made, but the last loan was for $2,000. When was that made, sir?
That was made on May 23rd, 1995.
And that these things were given as collateral for that loan.
No, Your Honor.
Is that right?
That's right.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So why don't you tell me how your father came into possession of your things?
I had purchased a home, and I rented a truck. The truck broke down. I took care of an elderly stroke patient, 6 days, 6 nights. I was out of time, out of desperation. I had rented trucks many other times.
Come on, just let's get to it, please.
I'm sorry. Anyway, I asked him. He agreed.
You asked your father?
Yes.
To help you?
He owns a trucking company. He agreed. I never saw my things again.
That's not what you say in your complaint, madam. That's not what you say in your complaint. You don't say that you didn't get any of your things. You say some things were missing.
The things that he took from his truck, I never received.
You want to respond to that, please?
Yes, Your Honor. I own a trucking company. Dana lost her house in Woodland Hills, or Agora Hills, she got thrown out. She asked me to store this material. I had stuff in my warehouse for over 3 years. She bought a house after she had a settlement. I sent 7 loads of her stuff. I give her a little Toyota pickup truck to take a walk through my warehouse, to take anything that she thought was hers.
How much after the move did she come to do the walkthrough and you sent 7 loads of stuff to her house?
It was within weeks.
And how long ago was this?
Oh, this was 2 years ago.
Is that when you moved?
No, Your Honor.
When did you move?
I moved in October of 1994. He
Okay,
continued
just a
to
second.
Put me off.
Just a second.
I'm sorry.
1994
Yes, Your
is
Honor.
when this happened. So we're now talking 4 years ago almost, right? 4
Yes,
years.
Your Honor.
Now, he says that he stored stuff for you.
He did not store. There was never permission to store. I never...
He says that he sent 7 loads of stuff to your house.
It never came to my house.
Just let me understand this. This happened in 1994.
Yes.
Right. Now, when did you borrow $2,000 from your father?
I borrowed money from him on May 23rd, 1995. I was under the impression he would still relinquish all of my items to me. I had no inclination that he would ever. What father would steal from their daughter?
Just a second. He's not suing you. You're suing him.
No, what father would steal from their daughter?
I'm not sure whether he did. What I want to know, madam, is why, if he had your stuff in 1994, and you didn't get your stuff in 1994, so you were angry, I assume, right?
You know what? I wasn't angry. He kept telling me that I would get it. He couldn't get a truck. I kept offering trucks. It was like one excuse. You don't know this man. One excuse.
Well, I don't know him,
another.
but you know him. Listen to me. I don't know him, but you know him well enough. You borrowed another $2,000 from him. Tell me about the $2,000 that you borrowed from him.
Well, he must have trusted me to do that. I trusted him.
Ms. Ferguson,
I trusted
why
him.
did you borrow $2,000 from him?
I borrowed it out of necessity.
Well, for what? What did you tell him? Tell me about it. You called him?
I called him. He said he's going to need more copies of my appraisals of my pictures. He wanted something else as collateral. He said that what he had...
Just a second. We didn't get to the collateral yet.
Okay.
You called him up and said, I need money.
Right. He said...
Well, tell me about the conversation, madam, slowly.
Okay, I'm trying to...
Called him up and you said, I need money. Right? And did he ask you what for?
Yeah. Yes.
And what did you say?
I said, well, after purchasing my home, I was in between jobs. May I borrow this? When you give me the rest of my stuff, I will, if I need to sell it, I'll sell it. Because he had everything I owned. But I trusted him. He's my father. what reason would I not have to trust him? I wouldn't lie about this. There's no reason for me to. He's taken my whole life away.
I'm still not following your story, madam. You want to tell me about this?
Okay, it's not the first time she needed money. She's an older lady now. I figured she needed responsibility. Last time she needed money, she needed $3,500. I told her to go to her attorney that she's handling the case. I'll give her the
case?
30. She had a suit for damage. She got hurt in an accident. I love this girl terribly, but I want her to grow up and take responsibility. So I says, I'll give you the $3,500, but you've got to make sure I get it back. I have young children. I've got to make sure they're provided for. The court case was settled. I got my $3,500. Everything was fine. I get a phone call. She said, Dad, I need money. I can't make my payments on my house. I need $2,000. I says, Dana, I will not give you any money unless I have something in collateral. By this time, I had nothing. So I met her at this restaurant. I was with my nephew and one of my children, my younger ones. Let her make the note out. I give her the 5 $100 cashier's checks plus $1,500 in cash. She went out to her car, unloaded the stuff in a
Unloaded what stuff?
Stuff. I mean, she had a statue, some paintings rolled up.
Mm-hmm.
I had that as collateral. I didn't even know if it was worth anything. I just said I want her to have responsibility. I can no longer just give her things. She has to take responsibility.
Okay. Good. Stop playing with the papers.
I'm sorry.
Stop playing with papers.
Pardon me.
A couple weeks later, she calls me up. I have to have my stuff. I've got to sell it. I said, Dana, you've left it for collateral. You've left it for collateral, honey. You've got to take responsibility. I was at Lake Mead 4th of July weekend. All the families invited. All my daughters, my youngest daughter came up. Mark and his fiancée was there. She got sick, and they went home early. I get a phone call that Dana, her boyfriend, and his boyfriend's mother broke into the house.
Who did you get a phone call from?
Mark.
Mark, step up here. Okay, you're out on this trip. Is your father?
Yes.
My stepfather.
Stepfather?
I was on vacation at Lake Mead.
You went home early.
Yes.
And what happened when you went home?
The next morning, we were home, received a knock on the door. It was Dana, her boyfriend. She wanted to come into the house and get her stuff. I said, I know nothing about this. My stepfather, Frank, was on vacation. You'll have to wait until he gets back. I tried to close the door at that point. They pushed the door in, pushed me to the ground, roughed me up a little bit, came in and started taking things. I yelled at my fiancée to call the cops. She did. They came. The cops stopped them from taking the stuff, and they left.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Your Honor, it's twisted.
Did you go to the house?
Yes, after I was told everything was sold.
Just a second.
To
I don't
prove
care
it
what you were
wasn't.
told. Did you go to the house when your father wasn't home?
Yes, I was instructed to do so by my mom.
I don't care what your mom told you.
I know. You're right.
Police were called?
I wanted them to arrest me because then somebody would defend me. Somebody would have seen that all my things were there.
Listen, I believe your father, madam. I believe your father that he lent you $2,000. You acknowledge that he gave you $2,000 and he took things as collateral.
Have you seen the note, Your Honor?
What note?
This is the note. It only states 2 items.
Let me see.
And here's what he sent me only 2 months later. Okay.
Okay. This says that you have 2 items. Mm-hmm. So as held as collateral. And do you still have these 2 items in your possession?
She broke into the house and took one of those 2.
Which one did she take?
The statue.
Is that the bronze?
Yes.
Your Honor.
Mother and child?
Yes. She only had one of those.
Your Honor.
And the other one is an Erte.
Yes, I had it at the time.
Okay.
Luckily, the police made her put it back.
Your Honor.
What?
The van was searched. Everything was taken out. I wasn't allowed to. Nothing was relinquished back to me. Nothing. I didn't receive anything. I didn't take anything out of his house. I never asked for anything that belonged to him. I was willingly going to give him that $2,000. I had asked him, please allow for me to give you the $2,000 so I may have everything that belongs to me.
So why didn't you give him the $2,000?
Your Honor,
Who are you?
my name is Oscar Dustam. I'm a witness.
What did
And
you see?
He never wanted to collect the $2,000. My family and I collected the money, and at that time, I spoke to Dana and tried to get in touch with her father, and he refused to get her things back.
Just a second, sir. Did you ever have a conversation with him?
No.
So you were going to get $2,000 and give it to her,
Yes.
but she never gave it to her father.
No, he refused.
Did you hear him say, I refuse?
Over the intercom, Your Honor.
Are you her boyfriend?
It's on a tape.
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, I'm her boyfriend.
Are you the one who broke into the house when he
I
wasn't
did
home?
not break into the house,
We
Your
never
Honor.
broke in.
Are you the one that went into the house to retrieve property?
No, Your Honor. I stepped into the door, and by the time this gentleman, the stepson, came, he was feeling bad, and he came and he tried to push us back, and everything started just going
Just a second.
chaos.
Just a second. What right do you have to be in his house?
I was not in his house. I was at the door with her.
What right do you have to be in his house?
I was permitted to come into the corridor.
By whom?
By him, he allowed me, he opened the door and allowed me in. And once I was in, then he came after me.
What were you going there to do?
I had my box with all of my receipts, and I said, please, just give
You were
me
going there to take property.
to take what belongs to
You
me.
were going to his house
To take
when
what
he wasn't
belongs
home
to
to take
me.
property. Is that what you were doing, madam?
There was somebody in the home. I would have...
Listen, this is baloney.
Can
Listen
you
to me.
please see my certificates?
I don't want to see your certificates.
He victimized me because he knew he can get away with it.
I
He's
don't
done
believe
this to a number of people. You don't know this man.
I don't know him and I don't know you.
unfortunately, I know
hey,
him now.
Listen to me. I don't know him and I don't know you. All I know is the story that you're telling me doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. And common sense usually is right. It doesn't make sense that your father, who you asked for help, took your property and stole it. And after he stole your property, you called him up and asked him for money. He lent you money, and he wanted collateral. And you gave him collateral, and then when he wasn't home, this makes sense, when he wasn't home, you, your boyfriend, and your boyfriend's mother went into the house without his permission.
Everything was there, Your Honor.
It was there. I described everything I owned.
We didn't even have to go into the house.
I
Everything
thought
was-
you said, sir,
No.
that you
wouldn't have had
listen to
to.
me. How could you stand there and tell me, sir, that everything was there when you just told me 2 seconds ago that you never got past the front door?
Please
Everything
don't make
was
him right
hanging
again.
on the walls. Your Honor, you can see pictures of her.
I don't know what this is about. I don't know the history of this family. Clearly, it's a pathological situation.
I would never lie, Your Honor. These things belong to me. I don't want what doesn't belong to me. I never asked for what doesn't belong to me.
According to your father, has always been this way. Is that right?
No, Your Honor. He'd been through therapy.
What about you?
I had to,
For a long time?
on and off. Yeah. But nothing to, because you have this as a father, of course.
Listen to me. If you have this as a father, and if you've been in therapy for years because you have this for father, you don't call and ask him for money. How old are you?
I'm 36.
Well, you know, there comes a time you got to stand on your own 2 feet,
You're
madam.
right.
You're
I bought my
absolutely
own
right. So
house.
you got to stop.
I moved out when I was 18. I was the only one with a relationship with this man. out of
Well, you don't
4
have one
children.
anymore. It's too bad. I am not
It is
convinced,
too
madam, that he
bad.
stole your property. And, sir, you have the collateral.
Yes, ma'am.
Do what you want to do with it. That's all.
I sold it to pay the doctor bills.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Former friends
Correct.
fight over money.
Not correct.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's why we're here, sir, because this is
Correct.
a dispute over money.
Correct.
According to you, Mr. Harkness, you lent Mr. Cutler $3,000.
Yes, that's correct.
Mr. Cutler says it was a gift.
Correct.
So why don't you tell me, sir, how did this loan come about?
Well, in the beginning of 1995, Stephen was living in a house. He was renting a room. He couldn't live at home. His father, they kicked him out of the house, and he couldn't live at home. He had nowhere else to go, and he was also getting kicked out of this new apartment that he had gone into. And he came to me and said, you know, John, can you give me $5,000? I said, Stephen, you know, $5,000 is a lot of money. You know what I mean? I really can't give you $5,000. I said, if
What
you...
kind of work do you do that you had
Well,
thousands of dollars?
unfortunately, when I was younger, I had cancer, and I had gotten a settlement for it. And so when I
How
was...
did you get a settlement for having cancer?
Well, because I was misdiagnosed for not having it. And then I did have it, so it was a big, drawn-out thing. When I was 19, I got a settlement and put it away and invested it for my children.
How much did you get?
It was about $500,000. So
And Mr. Cutler, you knew that he was getting a settlement?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So Stephen came to me, like I said, asked me if I can give him $5,000. He didn't say lend. And I said, Stephen, I can't give you $5,000. I can let you borrow $3,000. He said, oh, come on, you can give me $5,000. You got the money. I said, Stephen, it's not about if I have the money. I can't afford it. You know, I was going to school. I put myself through college. And that was even before I got the settlement. So I've been working hard my whole life to save my own money. He said, come on, please, 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 you know. I said, all right, listen, I can let you borrow $3,000, but you got to pay me back. He said, well, I can't pay you back right away. I said, Stephen, I know you don't have money. If it takes you a year to pay me back, just pay me, you know, in drips and drabs, whatever you can, you know. So I gave him the money. He was so happy, you know. He said, thank you. My witness was present.
What did you write him a check?
I wrote him a check. And when I went to write him the check out, he said, don't write the check out to me, write it out to my father, because I don't have enough money in my account to cover it. Well, I said, that, you know, seems pretty sensible. He was asking me for the money, so obviously he didn't have money to cover it. And he said, I need the money right away because I have to put it down on a new apartment. So I said, no problem. I wrote the check out to his father so his father could cash it. After I gave him the money, I saw him less and less over the next 6 months. Come that October, I went back to college to get my bachelor's degree. So, and then I saw Stephen less even more. So I called Stephen up. Hey, Steve, I haven't talked to you in so long. How you been? What's going on? This and that. We talked like old buddies, like nothing had ever happened. Soon as I mentioned the money. What money? I said, Stephen, come on. You know, we grew up together. What do you mean, what money? You know? He said, you said that was a gift. I said, Stephen, come on. Who's going to give somebody $3,000? I was like, I haven't even given anybody in my own family $3,000, let alone a good friend. I said, I can let you, I let you borrow it. We said, that's not what you told me, and hung up the phone.
Okay, stop. Mr. Cutler, did you need money?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
You were working in 1995?
Yes, I was.
What kind of work were you doing?
Working in a soda distribution company.
Doing what?
Forklift work and just distribution, loading trucks up.
Okay. Were you evicted from residences at that time?
No, I wasn't.
Your Honor,
Well, tell me-
Your Honor, that's a lie.
Just a second. We let you speak. Get back in a second. You don't deny that he transferred, I'm not going to say gave, loaned, or whatever, he transferred $3,000 to you for your benefit?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Now you tell me how that came about, sir.
We were longtime friends. We grew up together in the same neighborhood. And I knew John was getting a settlement. And he said to me, he said, Steve, he said, if I ever get a large settlement, he says, I'm going to take care of you and George Altz because you guys been my best friends for so many years. Now, that's what he said to me. He said, you guys are going to get $5,000 each and a trip to Europe, he said to me. He said, I'm going to take you to Europe on me. That's what he told me.
I'm going to take you to Europe.
To Europe, yes, on him.
Just
That
a
we were going to go backpacking, hiking.
So did
through
you ever
Europe.
do that?
No, we didn't. No, we
Okay.
didn't.
John Harkness wants his former best friend, Stephen Cutler, to give him back the $3,000 he loaned him. Stephen claims the money was a gift.
So tell me about the $3,000.
So as time went on, we were in the basement and together, and he said, Steve, he said, remember when I told you I was going to give you $5,000? I said, yes. He said, well, I can't afford to give you $5,000. He said, I spent a lot of money. He said, but I could afford to give you $3,000.
You mean, and that just came out of the blue?
Yes.
Just to hanging out in the basement?
Yeah, yes.
Did you say to him, what happened to the backpacking that we were going to do, the traveling
No,
we were
I
going to do?
I never brought up Europe.
What?
I wasn't going to be greedy. I figured whatever, you know, he was going to give me, he was going to give me.
So it just came out of the blue?
To be honest with you, it's been a few years. I don't remember the exact conversation, how it was brought up.
I do.
To be honest with you.
Go ahead.
It never took place in my basement.
Yes, it did.
When he was living in the house and he was getting kicked out, that's when the money transpired, actually. Mr. Alt was present.
He was present?
Step up here, sir.
Yes, he was.
Your Honor,
Step up here,
he's
sir.
lying, Your Honor.
Just a
He's lying.
second. That's my strong suit, sir, to tell who's lying. What makes sense? Common sense. Yes.
How you doing?
Your name is... I'm
George
doing
Waltz.
fine. How are you doing?
Good.
Pleased to hear that. Your name is?
George Waltz. Basically, me and Steve talked about getting a loan from John. Actually, it wasn't a loan. We wanted to receive $5,000. Stephen ended up asking him. I just kind of stayed off to the side. A short time after, Steve came back and said, he's not going to loan us $5,000. He'll let us borrow $3,000.
Why were you looking to borrow money?
Because I was in debt at the time, and I had a lot of bills. So did Stephen. So Stephen said, you know, I asked him, he would loan me $3,000. I said, I don't want a loan. If he's going to give me $3,000, I'll take the $3,000. I don't want another loan to get out of debt, to get back in debt with a friend. So I said, it's not even worth it.
Why would you think that your friend, Mr. Harkness, would give you money?
Like, we grew up together. I would. You got to understand our circumstances. You know, we've been through a lot since little kids. I thought maybe we can get some money from him
Can I add something,
as a
Your Honor?
friend.
Sure, step up here. Who are you?
My name's Joseph Smeltzer. I know all three of these men here for well over 15 years. When John received his lawsuit, for years, well before he received it, Steve and George had been his best friend, lifelong best friends. John had bragged countless times, and specifically, that he was going to take care of them financially and give them a gift.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Just a second. Were you present, sir, when you heard any discussion about $5,000 and a trip
Yes,
to Europe?
I was, many times. No. He made a lot of promises to a lot of people, not just Steve and George. I mean, he bragged that he was going to take care of a lot of people in many different ways.
Shh, shh, shh.
And
Just a minute. A lot of people do that.
Yes, they do.
A lot of
Absolutely,
people
they
do that.
But you got to consider the fact when best friends of this nature, they're considered like family. They grew up all their lives. It's more like family. It's like if I came into $1 million tomorrow, I'd have no problem giving Steve $5,000.
What you, Mr. Cutler, is suing for is on a contract. You say that there was a contract, and your contract with him was that he was going to give you a gift, right?
Correct.
A contract requires, in the law, something called consideration. There has to be something that you give to him and something that he gives to you in order for it to be enforceable. Otherwise, it's just puffing. I'm going to take care of all of my friends. Now, there's a certain amount of common sense that suggests to me that you were having certain problems in 1995.
Your
That
Honor,
has a ring of truth to it, sir.
Your Honor, $3,000 wasn't going to make any difference in my life at that time.
He was getting kicked out of the
whatsoever.
Just a second.
Whatsoever, Your Honor.
Just a
3,000.
second. Then why, Mr. Cutler, would you think, sir, that after several years, because this transaction took place several years ago, that Mr. Harkness would at this point sue you for the $3,000?
Because he's a bitter man, Your Honor.
Just a second.
Can I-
Why do you think he's a bitter man?
He's a bitter man because I was friends with him for a year after he gave me the $3,000. After that, I couldn't be friends with him no more because he had a swelled head and I couldn't deal with him no more. And a lot of people the same way. So
Don't tell me about a lot of other people. What
two
about
years
you?
later, he calls me up on the phone and says, Steve, he says, the money that I gave you, I want it back. I said, John, you gave it to me as a gift. He said, doesn't matter. We don't speak no more. He says, I want the money back.
Never
I said, well, you're not going to receive the
Never
money. You gave it to me as a gift. And he
Nope.
said, well, I'll see you in
Nope.
court. And I said, I'll see you in
Your
court
Honor?
then.
Just a second. I'm going to resolve this in a minute. Did he make the check payable to your father?
Yes, he did. He told me, Your Honor, the reason why he made it out to my father was he told me, he goes, I don't want you spending it all in one place. He goes, I feel
Not
if your
true, Your
father
Honor.
is involved with it, he goes, your father will look out for the money better than you will.
Not true, Your
And
Honor.
that's
no,
why
no.
he wrote my
Your
check
Honor.
to my father.
Oh, no, no. You see, a very important thing for you to remember, sir, is that common sense is what's supposed to prevail in a court. If he were giving you money outright, he would have given you the check made out to you. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you didn't need the money immediately, you could have opened up a bank account, put that check in the bank account, and waited for the check to clear. The fact that he made the check out to your father suggests to me that you needed the money immediately.
Yes.
And thank you for agreeing with me.
Sorry.
I also think, Mr. Cutler, that of all of his friends, I haven't heard of anybody else that just took money from him. Right? You haven't told me about anybody else that just
There were,
took
no.
money.
I'm not the only one here, Your Honor.
That
Who-
just-
I mean,
There were other people.
there were other people.
No, there wasn't.
I could have brought many witnesses here, but
Name one.
Just a second.
Why'd you bring him?
Hey!
Sorry.
Sit down now. Mr. Harkness, I am satisfied based upon primarily the one tangible thing that we know, which is that you both agree on, that you made the check payable to his father, and that suggests to me that there was an immediate need that he had for the funds,
Yes,
which
Your Honor.
supports your story that he needed the funds immediately for a new apartment, which is totally different from what he's saying is that you were in the basement of your building making out a check and
no,
you
never happened.
said, I'm going to give you some money.
No, never happened.
Well, I know you say it never happened. So I am giving you a judgment, sir, in the amount of $3,000, which is the amount of the loan. Thank you,
Your
that's
Honor.
all.
Please excuse. You may step out. Out this way, gentlemen.
This way.
Out the back door to your right.
A freaking disguise, bro.
See, that's all he can
a
say.
freaking
That's
disguise.
all he
Look
can
at you.
say.
Rip off that suit and
That's all
the
he can
white
say.
trash.
White chest with a
Mama's a freak,
with
his
a
dad's a
bachelor's degree.
freak, his whole family's
Bachelor's
freak.
degree. Ask him what degree he has. Ask him how many degrees he has. Nothing. I'm white trash.